Welcome to LTAP Direct. I'm Dave Heinlein with Arborist Skills, and we're going to talk about sharpening a chainsaw in the field while it's on the saw. It's very, very easy. The benefits of this is that it makes your cutting experience much safer. It's easier on the saw cuts better, and it's much easier on the operator. In front of me here on the table, I have the three basic tools that you need to sharpen the saw in the field. First of all, we have the file with a file guide, keeps it at the right depth and at the right angle. Very simple tool. The flat file for the depth gauges or the rakers. And over here we have the raker gauge, depth gauge to check to make sure it's right. What I have here is the mock-up of one tooth from a chainsaw. Obviously, it's very large. First and foremost, we have the leading edge of the cutter. That's what actually cuts or shaves away the wood. Out front here is the raker gauge or depth gauge or drag. And that limits how much this leading edge actually peels off as it comes through the wood. So after maybe 3 or 4 sharpenings of the tooth, you have to reduce the height of the raker gauge, because if you don't, it doesn't allow it to shave off any wood. Now we're going to take a look of the file and the file guide, how that works. The chain has left and right cutters, and I'm going to start with the right hand cutters on this. That determines the vise position. As I put this on there, I line up the mark this way on the file guide. I want to make sure that it's not tilted down or up 90 degrees, and I just push it through and bring it back and push it through. I want to count the number of pushes. Sometimes it only takes 1 or 2 pushes at the most, just to kind of shine the chain up a little bit. I do that, I go all the way around, do all the rights, then I have to take the saw out of the vise, turn it around, and do the left side. The raker gauge itself just goes over the top of the tooth, and if the raker is sticking above the gauge, you need to take the flat file, and I do a push and then check it. Typically though, you don't have to reduce the rakers after every sharpening. Usually about every 3rd sharpening, check them and maybe do a 1 push to get it back down. Otherwise, if I'm not reducing that, even though I sharpen it correctly, it's not going to cut at peak performance. After maybe 3 or 4 tanks of fuel, you run the file over it, a couple of strokes. Keep it sharp. That's the secret. Don't let it get dull. After you do it a few times, you're really going to find that it's just makes your cutting experience very easy and certainly safer.